Welcome to Chandler in Focus. I'm Council Member Terry Rowe, and I am here to talk to Jan Terhune. She is the Executive Director for Matthews Crossing. And I wanted you to be here because I just want to talk and share with Chandler, some of the great things that you all are doing, you and your team. And so you're the Executive Director, but it's a working position, isn't it?
It is.
It is. So we're going to, first of all, let's just take a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself and your team.
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, I grew up here in Arizona, went to grade school, high school, and I'm a proud graduate of the University of Arizona. I've been in nonprofit management for 35 years. I had tours of duty in Indiana and DC before I moved back home in April of 2014.
Wow. Okay. And you've been in Chandler kind of on and off a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then how did you get involved with the food bank?
Well, actually, I moved here in 2014 to be quasi-retired. You know how that doesn't usually last very long. And so when I knew I needed to get busy, I started interviewing. And what I really was looking for was a place that had room for growth, and two, that focused on services for children. And it just so happens Matthews Crossing was a nice blend of that.
Okay. So sometimes people are a little numbers driven. And especially the guys with the pocket protectors and that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about the needs in our community here in Chandler, and then maybe if you have a couple of numbers you can throw out there, that would help
Sure.
help really illustrate.
So what I can share with you is I've only been with the food bank since 2014, and so that's about the emergence of our data tracking. And I know that in 2014 the food bank served roughly 35,000 individuals. I need to qualify that, not unique individuals. 35,000 people were able to eat because of the food bank. And then that number in 14 grew from 35,000 to 48,000, and then again to 63,000. And this last year, 2016, we served just over 77,000 individuals. So it's a lot.
That is a lot of people.
It is.
So what about on a monthly basis? What would you say? How many people do you feel like you serve every month?
We're open during the weekdays, and typically we can see anywhere from 40 individuals to 120 in a 3-hour period. But a typical month is somewhere between 5,500 and 65 individuals are able to eat because they come to us. I have some really exciting demographics about that too, if I can share that. 80% of the people who physically come in our doors are female, 40% of our clients are children, and 50% of our clients only ever come to us once. So that's kind of the true definition of an emergency food box program, if you will.
I mean, and that's, I got to say it carefully, but that's what I love about your program. It's you are there for people that are in need right now. And how do they get a hold of Matthews Crossing? And then how often can they receive some assistance?
Great. So we are located just north here of downtown Chandler on Arizona Boulevard. They can come to us weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, from 9 a.m. to noon. And Wednesdays we have an evening shift from 4 to 6. So those are the days we're open. But of course you can find us on the website, and we have a number that you can call into.
Okay, so this might be a good time to say what the address is, because
Sure.
It sounds like people can come right to your location.
They can. 1368 North Arizona Avenue, and we're in a small strip mall behind a restaurant. So you have to look for us on the corner, the southwest corner of Knox and Arizona Avenue.
Okay, and so not that hard to find.
No.
Not that hard to find. And there's a website, and what's the website?
It's www.matthewscrossing.org.
Not difficult. Not difficult. So, and then how often can people receive assistance when
We have 4 different programs. So the Emergency Food Box program is our mainstay, if you will. And clients can come to us once a month, and that food box gives about 6 to 8 days of hunger relief. We do have 3 holiday food drives, one near the Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas, and Easter, and that serves about another 1,000 individuals. We also have a new program that we launched this last school year called Meals to Grow. It's a backpack weekend program that we give to Chandler and area schools in the East Valley. And we have, and we'll talk about this later, but we're adding a program called Read to Grow.
Yeah. So we're getting some new programs going, and because you're new, well, you're not new in the organization, but you are making some nice changes. You're kind of keeping track of some of the people that you serve, as far as so you can show, you can help demonstrate some of the need, and so that people. I mean, I know it. I mean, it's clear that it's an important thing that you all are doing there. And so
Right.
now you mentioned some of the holidays there, but what typical kinds of food can people get just on a regular basis if they were to come in?
Good question. We receive food from 3 sources. The first comes to us once a month by our partner organization, or parent, if you want to look at it that way, United Food Bank, and we get about 15,000 pounds of food on the first Friday of every month, and that turns around in a month's time, and that food comes from the Arizona Department of Economic Security. And it's it's exclusively non-perishable items. The second source of food is from area grocery stores. We pick up between 8 and 12 grocery stores, and that's our primary source of perishable food. So any day we might have meat, milk, eggs, but some days it might be bags of potatoes or onions. Other days it's all the above and maybe some fresh fruits or vegetables. And then, of course, with the generosity of our community, we have food drives happening all year, and that's non-perishable food.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you where all this comes from, but it does sound like, I mean, we've got businesses helping and people in the community out there really doing the right thing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, by us, I would say.
Yeah,
the giving season is typically at the end of the year, in Christmas and around those holidays, but we just had a very large food drive dropped off 2 Saturdays ago, which over 12,000 pounds. So we call that success.
Well, that is success. That is success. Well, it seems like it's been a couple of weeks ago we had a chance to have a tour of your facility. You opened the doors, and while you were still very busy, you invited us in, and we got to take a little bit of a look around. We have a short video on that. So let's just pause just a minute and let's see that.
Welcome to Matthews Crossing Food Bank. This is our facility. Clients come here when they want to get food, and their children can sit here in our lobby library, if you will. An area place of faith has donated books for children, and children can take new books or slightly used books home at the same time that their family gets food here. Families register here. They can get an emergency food box from us once a month. They sign out a very simple registration form and give us a photo ID. If you need food, you wait here for your food boxes. The food boxes are prepared in the warehouse up within non-perishables, and they wait here for the perishables, which are loaded up here, and then they can take the food box to their vehicles. They get to pick an extra item too if we have it. These are the food boxes. They get loaded out front. You see these are non-perishables, and the perishables are loaded that way. This is our warehouse. We have 3 sources of food. That comes from the Department of Economic Security, and that's what you see here. The second source of food is from food drives that happen all year long, and that's what's on our shelves here. And the third source of food comes to us from grocery stores between 8 and 12 each day, and we weigh the food, register it, check for expiration dates, marks through the UPC codes, and then it gets sorted and put on the shelves.
Okay, well, that is great. I mean, I was what I was impressed with is things are so organized, and I mean, so you're using a lot of you have some staff, but a lot of volunteer people too, apparently, because organization, going out and picking up donated foods from businesses. I mean,
Right.
wow, wow.
So our food bank's open 15 hours a week. And in that time, it takes about 70 to 85 volunteers to keep our doors open. And what you saw were a number of, it's like a construction site. You saw several activities happening. Of course, there's the greeting and the client experience. There's also food coming in and out. And then there's what you call the back end, how we manage the food in the background to make sure it's ready for our clients. So what you saw was a well-oiled machine.
Well, it was, but there was a lot going on, I'll tell you. And so we were kind of step over here to get past that and this, but it worked out fine. And but one of the things that kind of came up was in fact, we were just talking about holiday, special holiday food drives and giving and that sort of thing. But I mean, I just saw 100 degrees today, and so it means that summer is really, it's here. And so, is there a greater need during the summer, June, July, and August, or what would you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's the perfect storm, Councilman. I'll tell you, what happens is those 70 to 85 volunteers aren't necessarily readily available in the summer months. Some of us try to find cooler weather, so we lose a good core of our volunteers. The other thing that happens in this perfect storm is fewer volunteers, but children are out of school, so there's a greater need for the families to get food during the summer. So it's tough on all food banks in Arizona because of the heat.
Yeah. Tell us how residents, our community, how can they get involved, and not only whether that's volunteering or.
Well, certainly volunteering is at the top of our list, and especially on our summer months. We do accommodate small groups, so many corporations send a small core of employees over to help us out with, and it could be sorting food or checking expiration dates, putting it on the shelves, or actually having that client experience. So volunteer is at the top of our list. Of course, donating food is what we're all about. Then we could take that during open hours, but we also have a staff person in charge of food drives. And you let us know online that you're doing a food drive, and we can get you the materials to do that and come happily pick up your food.
Yeah, well.
And then, of course, gifts to the food bank are our third, what I call natural resource.
Yeah, have you gotten one of those little swiper things so you can just get donations on the fly?
Yeah, we're more effective with online because we
Okay.
have an online portal as well.
Yeah, so people go to that site, www.matthewscrossing.org,
Correct?
and they are able to donate right there.
Yep, food, time, or money. We
Yeah.
take all of it.
Food, time, or money. Well, and you need all of it, right?
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And well, what are the supplies that are needed the most, though? If somebody was going to make donations, what you said you'd take it all, but is there something that is like the greatest need?
Well, I will say, let's talk about on the food line items, things like high protein based, like peanut butter, canned food, or canned soups with meat in them are hot commodities. And in the summer months, but really all year long, cereals are hot items. So those are the items of greatest need. We also have from time to time needs for grocery bags, and in December through February, we will take citrus, fresh citrus, so you can donate in all those ways.
Yeah. Well, it's a little seasonal there, I suppose. Huh?
That is, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So time goes by quickly, and we've been able to talk here a little bit, but is there anything that you'd like to possibly share that I haven't asked you, or anything you'd like to possibly say?
No, I think what I'd like to share is that our Meals to Grow program for area students is on the rise. And while we have the backpack program, we are experimenting with food closets at high schools and potentially a summer backpack program, which we're just learning about the demand for that. So we're testing, or if you will, piloting that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you remember your tour where we have a lobby library where there's books for
right.
children.
Right.
And we branded it Read to Grow. And we've given out in the last 18 months over 1,500 children's books, and they are brand new. It's a ministry of one of the places of faith that support us. And just recently, we've had some interest in children's book drives. We're all about food, and we always need that. But when your population is so high in serving children, which I share with you is 40%, we like an opportunity to enhance their lives, and reading's a good way to do that. And you can start as young as when you first get here.
New programs, and they all require a little space. And I think we were at a ribbon cutting at that facility. How long ago was that?
That was in October of 15.
Yeah, okay. And then it looks to me like you're kind of at capacity now.
We are.
Yeah.
The remodel in 15 was a gift from the Chandler Chamber Leadership Group of 2015. I forget which class it is. They have a number, but I don't remember it. And they brought to us McCarthy Building Companies, and the leaders from Chandler and the construction company did about a $60,000 pro bono, and they actually took what was two separate retail spaces in a strip mall, you saw that, and made it one new and improved. So we essentially doubled space in 15. And that's how, when I can share with you that in 2013 we served 35,000, and now 77,000 people can eat because of Matthews Crossing. Wouldn't have been able to do it if we didn't bust out those walls and have more of an opportunity to bring more food in so we could serve more people.
Well, Jan, I have to reiterate how important it is that you all are doing the work that you're doing here in Chandler, and I want to thank you and your team. You guys are awesome, and so thank you for coming and sharing with Chandler a little bit about Matthews Crossing. It's easy to find. It's on North Arizona Avenue, and we're going to post the address for everybody. And thank you for watching. Chandler, you know, there is a real need for food and other donations to our nonprofits here in Chandler. This is the best kind of giving where you where it's not being taxed from you. It is something that you donate. It's the right thing to do, and so I hope you'll join us and frequent some of these nonprofits and give them a hand. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.